Live, live, live. Hello, hello, hello. I just ate a protein bar because I was about to go live and my stomach was like, feed me, feed me. So I fed me. But I'm here to pop on to talk about WTF. WTF is we frequency. I've been speaking a little bit about this, and I want to break it down. So thanks for those that are tuning in live and those that catch the replay, whichever way you end up seeing this. That's what I love about the world we're living in right now. We can create things and they will get to the right people at the right time for exactly the right reason. And that is really WTF, we frequency. What the feeling. I have been somebody that has been around the personal development space for over 15 years. Personally, I have transformed my life in a physical form, financial form, emotional form. And what I know is my purpose and mission and drive right now is to really dial down, double down, dial in, talking about this type of thing, talking about these types of things that have absolutely, without a doubt, shifted and shaped me. And so if we have not met, my name is Carol Elizabeth. I am a beautiful coach for women that are purposeful and ambitious and courageous, who are looking to be pulled, pushed, forced, dragged, or walked alongside their next level life so that they can live in more joy and purpose and love and abundance. And that does not come from having the body and having the bank account and having all the things. I have had all those things, have all those things, and I'm here to say that the joy and happiness that you seek is really about what happens inside. And so we frequency is all about the emotional chart, the emotional frequency chart. And I did a little video about this, but I wanted to go live on it because this really, if I was to pick one thing that has transformed my life in every way, shape, or form, it is tapping into the concept that I didn't get what I wanted in life. I got whatever matched the energy that I was in. So when I was living life as a newly divorced single mom of 3, and I was in desperation and lack and fear, it was not an accident that the more things that happened were of the lower vibration, the more anxiety, the more fear, the more restricted income. And when I started to lean into law of attraction, which was first to have a greater butt to win fitness shows 15 years ago, that's when I first started learning about mindset, and I started to learn that the power of my energy created what I got in life. That power of my energy, co-creation with Gus, God, Universe, Source, a higher power, when I started to understand that my only job was to live in joy, be in joy, and whatever that means for me and whatever that means for you, and that in that living on a magic carpet ride that I talk about now, more and more things would show up for me. And so when I learned about this frequency chart and that we got more, and so if I was living in doubt and anger, I would see more reasons to doubt and anger. We get proof of everything we think about. So you can get proof that being 55 years old and in postmenopause means you will never be fit, you will be frustrated, you will have all these things, or you can have proof of the otherwise. You can have proof for absolutely everything that you seek. So seeking the more positive reframe is never going to fail you. It is never going to fail you. And so as I started to test this, which first started with me being angry and frustrated at people that told me that I was in control of my life and that the things that I was living in that weren't making me happy were a reflection of the frequency I lived in. First, I bitched them out. First, I complained. First, I said they were full of shizzle. And then I decided these people seem to be living a life that I really desire an aspect of. They seem happy. They seem free. They seem way lighter. So how about I try this? And I started to test it, and I started to utilize it, and I started to honor that the only thing I was responsible for was the mood in which I was, the energy in which I was. And, I have grown through divorces, blended families, breast cancer, mother's death, pandemic, children's issues, all sorts of things. So I have utilized this to go through all of those things. I have utilized those in every transition to understand that I get in life what I seek and the vibrational match that I am. And so I would learn to bump up this frequency. I would learn how to go from doubt and anger to at least more just like level. And then I would learn how do I find some gratitude in this? How do I move myself up the frequency chart? And so when I started to do that, I started to get more things happening. And as I started to really zone in on finding joy and peace in the little things, again, not in the when I get the body, I'll be happy. Not in the when I get the money, I'll be happy. Not the when I have the house, I'll be happy. Not that is the thing that we are always on this mission, and we're never finding the joy in the journey. We're thinking that this will make you happy, and I can promise you that having the body, having the bank account, having the things, when you haven't found the happiness within you, does not make you happy. And the easiest way to get all these things that you desire in life is to find your center of joy. Find your center of what makes you happy, not anybody else. And so as I started to play with that, more and more things started happening. More and more spontaneous, beautiful synchronicities started to happen. So many. And so I would constantly say, oh my gosh, you won't believe this. And this is crazy. I can't believe this is happening. There's no way this is happening. So often. And as I love to do, I love to make up phrases. I like to make up words. I like to do things that bring me joy, that make me smile, because I know that that's my only responsibility. So I started saying to myself and my clients and my friends, when all these beautiful things kept happening, wee. And so the wee frequency is really like at the top. It's above all of this. It is when you get to decide for yourself what that feels like, that giddiness, that excitement that you get to bring into your life and seek it. And so because I believe in this so much, because I want nothing more than to prove it to people, I am doing a 14-day wee frequency challenge. It's running on Telegram. It's going to be me just transmuting and putting through to you every day a message, an activation, having conversations with you to seek and look for things. And a reminder that there is beauty in everything, and reminder that there can be space in everything, and a reminder that there's the paradox. You can be in the greatest joy as well as the greatest pain. You can have fear and you can have hope. You can have frustration and you can also have peace. And I think that for so long, we think that we can only have one or the other. Or we think that if this is the scenario, this is what it must feel like. And that's what when I was diagnosed with cancer, I went there. And then I realized that I got to control where this goes. And I can find proof for other scenarios that will serve me so much better than being in the darkness of what I'm making up in my head, because we don't know our future, but we tend to make up a future that is often in that lower vibe. And then we get more. Oh, I have no money, and this sucks, and this is horrible, and recession. And my dear friend, I'm just going to say you will continue to have those kind of things. When you start to move up and understand that maybe this could be the greatest blessing for you to learn more about finances, or to finally step and take that pivot into the program that you've always wanted, or to make the change and start finally charging what you're worth, or whatever it is. Every time there is a dip, because life's, The dip when you do not feel great is the most beautiful blessing, because it is showing you the contrast of what you want. And so you get to learn from that and say, well, I don't like this feeling in my body. So what is the feeling? How can I honor my body? How can I honor my bank account? How can I honor my soul? How can I honor? And that's what the We Frequency 14-day challenge is. It kicks off August 4th. If you start before that, it's going to start transmuting July 31st. It's $22. There's a VIP where there's 2 live group coachings. That's $88. And honestly, if you do the things that I ask of you, which are terribly, horrible, awful things like, hey, smile today, or do something that makes you happy, or get off social media scroll that's making you feel worse, and do something that brings you joy. Those are the kinds of things I'm asking. If you do not feel a shift, I will refund your money. The whole whopping $22 of it. It is my absolute intention to show you how fast you can change the trajectory of the way that your life is going by changing the energy that you are in. And I am there with a loving, beautiful heart to serve you, but I will not let you live in your shit stories. I will not let you live in the why, because that is why you're where you are. And I say that as the woman that had to pull herself out time after time after time, because I know that if I live in this story, I get that result. I also know that every person on this earth can see somebody that has been in a worse situation and has risen above. And there's nothing different about them and you. Nothing different about me than you. It is all a perspective switch. And it's often this little tiny swoosh, little tiny shift. A tiny shift from anger to maybe a little less anger. And then from a little less anger to maybe I'm just neutral. It's not going from everything's the worst thing on the planet to everything's amazing. This is why I am statements can often bugger up your world, because if you try to go too big, your inner critic voice comes in and tells you, absolutely not. And then you feel worse about yourself. And when you feel worse about yourself, you just get more proof of everything that you're thinking about. So the We Frequency is absolutely next level. You get to plug in to my energy, my belief, my certainty that if this one thing is something that you can root into, I will prove to you what happens. What starts to happen? The weight starts to shift. What starts to happen? Money starts to show up. What starts to happen? You get calls to speak at events that you've always wanted to do. What starts to happen? Some beautiful human shows up in your world and you're like, where did you come from? I've been looking for you all my life. But you haven't been looking for them. You've been concentrating on what you don't have, how you're not good enough, how you're not worthy, how you should know better, how you should have it be further along, how you should have never let yourself go, blah, 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 shoulda, woulda. No, the We Frequency is figuring out in your world what makes you giddy with joy. And if you don't remember, I'm going to remind you. So if you want some information, you can comment challenge and I'll send you the info. You can DM me. You can send me a carrier pigeon or a smokestack or whatever there is. Wherever there is. And I look forward to seeing you there and proving to you what is possible when you, gosh darn it, can you believe it? Tap into figuring out what brings you joy and making yourself happy. Yes, it is all about being selfish, inner soul, hearing, healing, and then honoring. Because if you don't take care of you, my friend, you cannot take care of other people. And I know you want to, because that's often where we live in our, I can't do it because I have to take care of others. But you're not taking care of others very well if you are a miserable person living in a low vibration and not understanding that everything is available to you. I don't care how old you are. I am 55 years old. I have transformed myself multiple times. I've got my groove back through cancer, menopause, life stresses. I've got my finances back after the top of the top and then things getting taken away from me. I am continuing to live my life. I feel like I'm 25 years old. So you cannot tell me that energy does not matter. You cannot tell me that I don't understand. I understand more than you know. It is why I bring my energy to everything I do so that you can understand the power that you have as well. Choo-choo, choo-choo, chow, chow.